Today I will continue with our story of the African legend, Arhuan, the giant of Udo of the great Benin Kingdom. If you missed part 1, I will put the link for you in the description under this video. So here is part 2. As Arwa and his followers began what they thought was a funeral procession of King Ozolwa, the oracle of Arhuan soon divined that it was Arhuan's father that was in the mat and quickly explained to Arhuan. Arhuan ignored the oracle. His advisors, the Umewan, urged him to obey the oracle, but Arhuan got angry and ignored them all, determined to complete what he believed was the funeral of his father and to make Udo the capital of the kingdom. However, as Arhuan and his supporters carried on, they suddenly heard the sound of the etu or wewe, the big royal drum used mainly for funerals from the direction of Benin. Concerned, Arhuan decided to immediately check the bronze coffin and found that it contained stones, sand, and dirt. He grew very angry and got ready for war with Esige and all Esige's followers, who by now had completed the funeral rites in Benin and had announced that Benin was the capital of the kingdom. Thus began the Arhuan and Esige War of the early 16th century. The war lasted for years between the two brothers, Arhuan and Esige, and their followers. By then, Esige had become the king of Benin in the place of his father Ozolwa. One day, Arhuan went to Okojie, a city near the capital, to wage war with his brother Esige. Before he left, he tied double bells Ero to his chest. He instructed his house servant Iyase to listen daily for the sound of the Ero double bells, that if the double bells made frantic noises, the servant would know that he was being pursued by Esige and his army and that he had lost the war. That in such an eventuality, the servant should lead Arhuan's entire large household to safety by jumping into the Odiginudo lake and swim away without looking back to avoid being captured as slaves or killed by Esige and his army. On the other hand, if the servant heard calm and rhythmic sounds, then it means he, Arhuan, had won the war. A few days later, the servant soon heard the sound of frantic bells and immediately did all that Arhuan had commanded. The entire household jumped into the Odiginudo and swam. When Arhuan got home, he realized what had happened. He ran to the lake Odiginudo and saw no trace of his household. Arhuan realized too late that he made a great mistake by not paying attention to his bells as he rushed home in victory. He had won the war but had lost everything. In great despair, he jumped into the Odigi lake and swam. When the villagers got to the lake later that day, they could not find Arhuan. They also saw no signs of his family. They only found his Iviokpagbaru beads on a tree stump on Odigi Lake shore and understood that he had jumped into the lake to go after his family. The village of Udo waited for news about the relocation of Arhuan and his household. They waited for days, months, and years and heard nothing. Since Arhuan was neither found nor buried, the people of Udo and the entire Benin kingdom of today, who now admire the strength and courage of Arhuan, continued to believe that Arhuan is still alive within the depths of the Odigi Lake. Also, Odigi Lake is still worshipped today by the Benin royals, who believe that their ancestral brother Arhuan is down there, within the depths of the lake, waging war against all the evil spirits and the impurities in the lake. That is the end of my story. Until next time, bye.